Okay, guys, we are on live. Welcome to all. Happy Thanksgiving for Torah. Okay. All right, guys, we are ready. Now, I want to just share with you over here. We're continuing in opening up. We still didn't start touching upon the halachot of Shabbat. You know that, right? We're still speaking about the ethical aspect of it. The importance of keeping Shabbat. I want to read for you over here. I want to just show you. When it comes to desecrating Shabbat, what are we dealing with? So the Rav Chaim says, he says, look at the severity of the sin when it comes to desecrating Shabbat, right? The halo yudua, he says it's known, but a lot of us don't know it, but I'm going to introduce the subject today. A lot of us are not going to like what we're about to hear, what I'm about to say. But Rabotai, we have to understand what we are facing up against. You can't hide from facts. You just can't hide from it. So he says, so he says it's known that there are different types of punishments for different sins that a person does. Listen, sometimes you can have a person, he can transgress a positive commandment alone. For example, a person doesn't put on tefillin. He transgressed a positive commandment. It's not like you slept with a married woman. It's not like you didn't keep Shabbat. He didn't put on tefillin. However, he says, what's worse than a positive commandment? More stringent than this is the negative commandments. Whenever you say, like, for example, not to do something, it's a negative commandment. They're more stricter than a positive commandment. Now, more stricter than this is punishment on sins which are in the hands of heaven. All right, guys, we're going step at a time. There's positive command, negative, you can't get, but there's sins that a person does, he can get punished from heaven. Now, more severe than this, he says, sins that where you have over there spiritual extinction, spiritual severing. It's a divine form of being cut off. Now that, Rabotai, is the very, very big problem. Chamur mizeh, more higher than onesh karet, sheyesh alem mita b'dei adam, where he gets punished by the bedin, by the Jewish court. We know, Rabotai, that there are 4 punishments. Right? There's strangulation. Let me just read over here. He says, the first one is strangulation. They choke a person. The second one is saif, they behead a person. The third one is when a person chas v'shalom burns. The fourth one is stoning. Now, Jigarik, if I could use it for a second, I don't want to use anybody else. I don't want to ruin nobody's Thanksgiving. Jigarik, over
you can use me, Rabbi, if you want. You can use me, Rabbi, no problem.
But how am I gonna? Okay, if I have to. Okay, fine. You sure?
It's okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, so I'll use you. I'll use you. I don't mind using. I'll use you. Look, listen to this. It says that over here, Bedin has 4 capital punishments, right? Beheading, strangulation, burning, and stoning. Do we have this today?
No.
Israel, why'd you put yourself on mute, G? I'm speaking to you, man.
No, Rabbi, no.
We don't have it. Okay. Masechet Sotah says something very fascinating, Israel, that not only do we have it, it's actually applicable every single day.
Correct.
The Bedin is not able to do it because there's no higher. You don't have the upper court. We don't have the Jews. We don't have the strength in the court. However, Hashem still has it in his hand. That's why sometimes you'll see people, Oleinu, I'm not judging anybody. Some people, Oleinu, will burn in a house, chas v'shalom. Some people will drown through choking. Some people, chas v'shalom, will go and get hit by a car. That's a form of stoning. Some person is going to fall off the building. Plane is going to go down. Helicopter is going to... Anything can happen. So we think that these punishments are no longer... No, they are intact. We think they're not here. No, they are here. Now, I want to show you something. There is a very big difference between karet and stoning. Stoning is the highest form of punishment. Now, you have to imagine for yourself going on a building, being thrown off the building, and then if you don't die, they have to stone you with heavy rocks. Can you imagine? You know what kind of death that is? You have any idea what that is? That is the highest form of stoning. Now, when is that applicable? The Rav Chaim says, he says, "Va'al avon chilul Shabbat b'mezid Halom mitatohu beskila. If I warn a person and I explain to a person the laws of Shabbat, and he goes ahead and he still desecrates Shabbat, his punishment will be stoning. What?
What do you mean desecrating Shabbat? What's desecrating Shabbat like?
If I tell a
Breaking
person,
Shabbat.
if I tell a person he's not allowed to make fire on Shabbat, and he goes and he starts smoking on Shabbat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tell a person he's not allowed to give haircuts on Shabbat. He's a barber. For every single hair he cuts, that's like shearing. Every single hair is Isur Doraita. But now I'm gonna give you another secret. What happens if a person doesn't know? I don't want to know. He knows it's wrong, but I don't want to get. I'm not gonna. We don't warn people. We don't tell. We don't want people to have this problem. You know, Hashem says no problem. Don't warn them. But you know what happens? Now karet comes in. Spiritual extinction. They're gonna be spiritual. They're gonna be cut off completely from being with the Jewish people. Can you imagine when everybody gets up? They're not gonna get up. So what is it? What is it worth? So you know why I'm saying this right now? I don't know if Mike is here. Mike is not here, correct? No, Mike is not here. Mike K is not here. No. Because if you guys remember him and Jack, they said that in Miami, there was a rabbi that allowed them to drive to shul on Shabbat. I don't know what kind of rabbi is going to allow them to drive to shul on Shabbat on whatever ground you want. What?
Reform rabbi.
No, it was Orthodox rabbi. Okay, if it was reform, something else. No, Yaakov,
I think it was in Arizona. He said that a rabbi said that you're allowed to take a Tesla, drive a Tesla.
No, but that's another. But in Miami, they said everybody drives a car in Miami. You remember that, correct? Now,
That's not allowed, Rabbi, right?
It's
not allowed.
I want to just show you like this. These people, every time they drive to shul, hoping one day they're going to change their ways, but they're getting cut off. That means if a person is given 120 years of age, let's say if he's lucky, I'm being nice right now. You don't get 100. You get maybe 80, maybe 70. The Gemara says 60. Let's be 120. Every time we drive to the car on Shabbat to shul, so you're chipping off away from your life. So you thought you went to try to do one mitzvah, one day you're going to come back to God. But right now you just cut off many years of being with your family. That you got to be, listen, excuse my language, you got to be crazy to tell people drive. I'll tell you the truth that Israel, it's not, I'm going to pick on Israel, I'm telling you. It's not that you're allowed to drive because the rabbi maybe feels if they're not going to come, what kind of community am I going to have? If there's no community,
right.
There's no dinero, there's no money coming in. So I don't know how much is it, if you really were, like Jigarik said, open up the community in their place. It's not a problem to raise money to say Baruch Hashem. People are making money left and right. You could easily open up. You need 5 mikvaot, we open up 5 mikvaot. Rabot, you know that people, look how much they're collecting. You know when they start these campaigns? This one is 3 million, this one is 2 million. Whoever says, go fund me, Jigarik. Everybody has money. And they do it all the same week. And then they call you, Rabbi, we need more money. Yeah, it's everything in the same week. Spread it apart. But the truth is, look, Rabotai, if we can open up a shul, don't tell me I'm allowed to drive on Shabbat. You can't. You can't go against the Torah. All right, so I just wanted to show you that. Okay, now Rabotai, anybody has questions about that before we go on to Chanukah? Okay. And I really hope that the other guys listen to the shiur. And if this tape or this lecture, Jigari can get over.
I have a question about the driving.
Yeah, Leo, go ahead.
You can't be driven on Shabbat. You can't be driven.
You can't be driven. You can't drive. Whatever you cannot do, the goy cannot do.
Okay.
There's some people that have drivers here, but I think you just said it. The goy, even if he's going, you can't.
Reform. Rabbi, what if it's an electric car?
It doesn't matter. Electric car doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I will tell you like this: electric car. You're gonna tell me that you're doing prohibitions. Right, they're Rabbanan, correct. But you have to understand. You know the Gemara said Masechet Berachot right in the beginning of the Gemara. It says that if a person transgresses a prohibition from the Torah, let's say that like doing something like not putting on tefillin, we're not gonna kill him. But if a person transgresses a rabbinical prohibition, the Gemara says clearly chayav mitah. Well, how's that possible? You know why? Because of this reason, Israel. Because people are going to say, oh, it's only rabbinical and I can drive it. It doesn't work like that. The rabbis' power have the same power like the Torah. It's not, guys, again, I'm just correct. It's not me and you, these kind of rabbis. I'm talking about a few thousand generations ago. Those rabbis were like angels. You know, when people, one of the things that really bothers me, sometimes you see these people, whatever, I don't want to say names, they speak. The rabbi, How do you open your mouth? You can't even remember one line in the Gemara. They knew everything by heart. You always, who are these rabbis that I have to follow them? Who are you? I have to listen to you. And people listen to them in the Yeshua and they sit. Oh, Rabotai, not because he says good, because he has money, people listen to stupidity. You know, there was one time, one big rabbi said one time something beautiful. Take a Talmud Chacham, you hear? Take a learned person, put him on stage, let him speak. Let him say stupidity. Everything, boo! Take a rich person, let him say exactly the same stupidity. Yeah. For what? Why? Rabotai, I'm telling you, it's so sad. It's so sad. You go today in a memorial, Jigarik, and it's not a Yeshua class. Who's the first one to speak? Who's the first one? The rabbis that are sitting at the table? No. Now you have the Chashmacho, the Tamadani, the singers. There's no more. The rabbi is the last one to speak. You know, I one time went to Yeshua. You don't understand. I one time went to Yeshua. So the rabbi told me, after all these people, you're going to speak. I said, have a nice day. Where are you going? I said, have a nice day. If you have no respect for Torah, I have no respect for you. What does this mean? You should know from that day, Anjigarik, whenever they call me Yeshua, I'm the first one to speak. What am I going to sit and waste my 6 hours of my time just because I want to hear him sing? Oh, Chumo, Dori. What do I care for his mother right now? No, we have to be real, Rabotai. We don't have enough time like this. In any event. So, Leo, to answer your question, whatever you're not allowed to do, the non-Jew is also not allowed to do because he's under our jurisdiction. I can't even tell him before Shabbat to do something for me on Shabbat.
I was going to ask you, can you tell him before?
No, you can't. Anything, you can't. Leo, all this, you know why? It takes away the sanctity of Shabbat. You don't feel Shabbat. How is that now different than any other day? Yeah, you're right. It's not like you're driving the car, but still the rabbis forbade that because it takes away the sanctity. Can you imagine, Leo, in your wedding day, instead of walking with a suit, you walk in with shorts. It kills away, the momentum. You got to be Shabbat is Shabbat. It has to be holy.
The essence of Shabbat.
Thank you. You know the Gemara says that on Shabbat, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think, everything has to be different. You got the way you even dress has to be different. Everything has to be different. It's very, very important. Okay, Rabotai, we have a few more minutes. I want to speak about Chanukah. This is a very important point. Chacham Avad brings down, it's also halakha in Shulchan Aruch. He says over here that the women have a custom, the first 30 minutes after lighting the Chanukah candles, they are not allowed to do any form of work. Jagadik, you know what your first question is supposed to be? When do women do any work at home?
Not my wife, Rabbi. Not my wife.
Yeah, not your wife. Yeah. Jagadik, you want to hear something funny? You're going to love this. One woman said to this, there's cabinet installers. I was in somebody's house. So she said to the cabinet installers, the husband was there, whatever. She says, I want the cabinets over here so I can place my laundry beautiful. The husband said, oh man, King Ratzon, if you ever place the laundry like that, you don't even touch laundry. You have a cleaning lady, you have a nanny. Who works?
We're allowed to have that? Huh? We're allowed to have that, Rabbi? What? We're allowed to have that? Nannies, this, that, helpers, go, all that. We're allowed to have that?
So now you're saying something very powerful, Leo. You don't even know what you just... guys, you're allowed to have help. But I want to read for you something very important, Leo. This is very important. He said the first half an hour, they shouldn't do any real work. Like stitching, yarning, anything. Food they're allowed to cook. Because that's not work. Anything has work. But he says, listen to this. But he says if you have women that they don't do work at all throughout Chanukah, or during the whole time when the candles are lit, he says they should nullify their custom. Why? Because when they do nothing, it brings a person to boredom, and being bored is very bad. You leave a woman without nothing is very bad. The Gemara says over here, not the Gemara, the Pirkei Avot says, Rabotai, something very fascinating. Even if you are the richest person and you have nannies and you always have to make sure you're busy. If God forbid a person is bored, that is the first thing that's going to allow you to come to sin. Can you imagine when I have nothing to do? So what do you think the Yitzhak is going to put in my mind? To do sin. You have any idea, Rabotai, what boredom can lead? Boredom by women can lead to adultery, God forbid. Boredom by men can also lead to adultery. Whether it's going to be through pornography, whether it's going to be through a friend. I'm going to tell you guys a very sad story. Okay, Rabotai, this is like first hand. When I say first hand, I mean like first hand. In Far Rockaway, there was a person like those people that come out and collect money, correct? And so in Far Rockaway, there was this very nice guy, a very nice gentleman. He said to the guy, He said, look, I'm not going to charge money from you. You can live in my basement. However long you need, you can live in my basement. Fine. 1 week passes, 2 weeks passes, 3 weeks passes. He says, I still didn't make the amount of money I need to go back to Israel. So whatever you need a month, stay here a month. Jigarik, listen to this Jigarik. This guy, this Jewish guy, the religious guy, his wife didn't work. They had about 7 children, Jigarik. What happened? While she was home, she would bring food to this guy who would collect money, the guy who collected the money.
The Gabbai Tzedakah?
The Gabbai Tzedakah, correct. Yo, one day the husband I don't know what happened. He finished work a little bit way earlier. He went home. He comes into his house. He doesn't see his wife. Leo, listen to this. A real story. He didn't see his wife. He doesn't make sense. Where could she be? The car's outside. Where is she? Bathroom, no. She says, no, don't tell me she's in the basement. Okay, maybe she went to give food. He went to the base. She didn't expect him to come home. He saw them literally in the middle of the act having relations. He caught his wife red-handed. This guy that he stretched out his hand to help him, he betrayed him. They both had nothing to do. They both sinned. When my rabbi told me the story, he told me, Chaim Igal, whatever you do, you never allow a man, I don't care, beard like this, hat like this, you never allow a man without a wife to your house. This is it. That guy got divorced. He ran. He took his children. He left. The wife betrayed started crying, and this guy took a flight back to Israel. It was tumult. It was chaos. Doing nothing in the house when a woman has no responsibility. Look what the Allah says. Only half an hour. If she has a custom of not working at all, you better give her some work. It's very, very dangerous when women don't work. Why? I need children, I do it. I need problem when I do it. They're always going to find something. Same thing with the men. That's why we always have to constantly be busy, Rabotai. And I just wanted to read for you the Pirkei Avot says like this, Rabotai. Shamaya Omer Ohev et HaMalacha. Shamaya says love work. Rabbi Vladimir Bartunu says why you have to love work. Look what he says. Even if you have millions of dollars, Chayav la'asok b'malacha. You're obligated to work. Why? Shabatala mivi'al lidei she'amum. When a person does nothing, Jigarik, a person becomes bored. When a person is bored, many things can go wrong. Many things. You can make problems. You can find problems. You can cheat on your... Rabotai, the Yetzer Hara is very cunning. It's able to make us do stupid. And if you pay attention, Leo, a lot of boys that watch pornography, that spill semen in vain, all these problems that you see today, what do they wait for? They wait when the night is going to come so they could go with their friends and do the wrong things. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do. Put a chain on them and give them responsibility. You see, they're not going to have time to think about all these sins. Now, that's very important. But some parents, they take away obligations and responsibilities from their children. Not good. Not good. Put responsibilities. Make them responsible. Don't worry. Rabotai, raise the bar for your children. Don't make it lower. Don't make it lower. Okay, Rabotai, if anybody has any questions, I'll take. If not, we'll conclude over here. And I guess I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Rabbi. We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Rabbi.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much.
No problem.
Just a reminder to everyone, tomorrow we don't have class, but what we do in merit of continuing the good deeds is to invite your friends and family to this class. So please, all I need is just their name and their phone number, and I'll add them over to the phone.
How much are you making off this Ruben? How much are you making off this Ruben right now? You're talking all about this stuff.
I love you guys. Rabbi John, you're the man.
I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Rabbi. It's not all about money, master. I love you, brother. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.